Evening beeps, good evening everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. Alright, before we talk the big news obviously being that Frank Warren has joined forces with Dazn. A couple of very quick things. First thing, the competition. The response has been crazy. Honestly, I didn't expect this type of response. I probably had about 100 emails and I've not gone through all of them yet. The ones I have gone through though, what's interesting about those is that yes, you want the audio equipment, obviously, but you're more interested in me being your mentor, which is nice. It's nice to think that you guys believe that I can offer some sort of value to where you're trying to get to right now. So look, I will go through all of them and we're going to announce a winner on Thursday. The second thing is I want to do a live. We haven't done a live. I can't remember the last time I did a live, maybe a year. So yeah, we're going to do a live this Thursday, 8 p.m. and I'm going to announce the winner on the live as well. What I'm also going to do, because the response about me being a mentor has been, again, way more than I expected. I don't just want to offer my services to one person. I want to be a mentor to 3 people. So although one person will win the audio equipment, 2 runners up will also get me as your mentor. So we'll share emails, we'll do Zooms, we'll get each other on the phone, we'll have conversations about where you want to be, etc., etc. So yeah, again, we'll talk about that on the live on Thursday. Another quick thing, very quickly before we talk Frank Warren, it's actually kind of linked to Frank Warren because I was watching the TNT fight card yesterday. By the way, Echo Usman Ben Vaughn, take a bow. That was war. That fight was incredible. I actually spoke to Echo after the fight and I was surprised he could speak. I was like, how do you go through that type of violence, that type of physical punishment and not be laying down somewhere in a hospital? Because it was brutal. So credit to both. Hopefully Echo gets a big fight. He deserves one. I know he suffered that defeat to Harry Scarf, but he's had a couple of good wins since then. So he deserves one. Liam Davis versus Shabazz Massoud. The judge that gave that fight to Liam Davis needs to be suspended immediately. In fact, he needs to be thrown out of the sport. Suspension's almost too easy because eventually with a suspension you come back. He needs to be thrown out of the sport. He has no right to be judging a boxing match. No right whatsoever. I know some people that scored that nearly a shutout for Shabazz. Like, at best, some were like, okay, maybe 2 or 3 rounds max for Liam. So even the other scorecards were a bit of a disgrace, but at least they had the right man winning in Shabazz. The fact that a judge actually tried to rob that off Shabazz and give it to Liam, there just needs to be an investigation. Because it can only mean corruption. I don't know what else it can mean. It can't mean incompetence. I think Richie Whittle said something on the broadcast that some of the rounds were close and difficult to score, and it's a case of what you like. No, it's not that. This isn't a Bivol Beterbiev situation. It's not that, right? Where you kind of have swing rounds. There were no swing rounds. The rounds were obvious, and they tried to rob Shabazz of a win, which is very bad. Honestly, we've spoken about judging before, and I've spoken about it a lot on this channel, but I've just spoken about it. So I feel like I need to do something more. I don't know what I can do, but that scorecard might be one of the worst I've ever seen. Again, a lot of people had that a near shutout, yet a judge seemed to find rounds to Liam and give it to Liam. Psst, mate, honestly, that needs to be looked at. All right, let's talk about Frank Warren partnering up with Dazn, which will be, I think the start date is the 1st of April. So obviously he's got many more shows on TNT to go, but Dazn is going to be his home for the foreseeable future. What does it mean? What does it look like? I guess, well, America's had it for a long time with Golden Boy and Matchroom putting on shows. So if you've ever watched a Golden Boy show or a Matchroom show, it means not much really. It just means that Frank will now be with Dazn. I don't know if it changes as much as people think it will change. Eddie and Frank already now have a working relationship. We are seeing their fighters fight on each other's platform. Obviously, there was the 5 versus 5 that kicked things off. So it's not like we haven't seen now for the past 12 months a working relationship between Eddie and Frank. Hopefully, it will pave the way for fights to be made a lot easier. I think that will happen. I think we've already seen that now. So that's a good thing. Someone did ask me about what it means for the broadcast. I have no idea. I have no idea. What normally happens is, like, when you do see a Laura Woods or a Becky Ives or a JD Dyer, they're normally contracted to the broadcaster. So they work for TNT. So I don't know, and I'll be very surprised if they cross over to now work for Dazn. Be very surprised. Again, I don't know. Will I be on there? I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea what it means. Obviously, I knew this was coming. There were whispers about it maybe about 8-9 months ago, and those whispers became very, very loud. I was supposed to do a little sit-down press conference with George and Frank, and that would have been last week. And as soon as I was asked to do that, it didn't happen in the end, but as soon as I was asked to do that, I was like, okay, this is to announce the Dazn deal. It has to be. I don't know if it's as groundbreaking as some are saying. I think it's great. I think it's good. I said the other day that I think if there was just one broadcaster for boxing in this country, I think it would be good. I think it'd be good. I also said if there was one promoter. So we're not any closer to that. But yeah, I hope that what it does do is pave way for these fights that have been difficult to make to become a lot easier. For Dazn, I think it's really big because I think Queensberry and Frank have done some incredible work in the last 12 to 18 months. Honestly, I was speaking to Adam Smith about this the other day. We did a show together, Fight Night on TalkSport, and even he was like, not that he was surprised that Frank is still here, because Frank's been around for 40 years, but just how good the stable that Frank has is now. I mean, Frank is signed. I mean, even in the last few months, he's obviously re-signed the likes of Hamza Shiraz, Liam Davis as well. Lawrence Okole's now signed. Fabio Wardley's now signed. He's got Daniel Dubois in the camp. Mate, I mean, he's basically got all the heavyweights, and they're the ones that seem to, move the needle when it comes to the sport of boxing. So Frank's doing an incredible job, and I think Dazn are going to be very, very happy to have the two biggest promoters in the country, two of the biggest promoters in the world now under their banner. So it's not just Matchroom and Eddie and Frank and Queensberry. Let's not forget as well, it's Golden Boy and Oscar. And I do believe it will also be Top Rank and Bob Arum. I really do believe that's going to happen, just because Top Rank's contract with ESPN runs out in August, I believe. So I'd be very, very shocked if they don't sign with Dazn as well. So Dazn literally are starting to eat up a lot of the boxing, a lot. I do wonder what's going to happen with Sky Sports and Boxer. I don't think it's... I think we're a bit harsh on Ben. I think Ben's trying his hardest. I think it's a tough job to come after Eddie Hearn. But the shows just... they've not been good enough, and they're not enough as well. We're not getting enough boxer shows. So I do wonder if Sky are going to look at that. And I mean, if they do, then I'm sure that Dazn will get boxer as well, which is crazy. All right. Anyway, look, we'll talk more of that when we know what exactly all of that looks like. But for now, let's have a quick look and see if there are any stories to talk about. Don't get caught. Tyson Fury will be ready for Alexander Usyk. Yeah, he will be. It's such a great fight. I can't wait to do that one. I do go to Saudi Arabia on Monday to do the Latino night. Obviously, Crispin and Smith versus Zerda Ramirez is the headline act. Looking forward to seeing what that looks like out there. Looking forward to seeing Oscar out there. Like, obviously, all the events I've done out there have been Eddie, Frank and Ben. Nothing to do with Oscar. I don't know if Oscar's even been out there. Obviously, Oscar was there for the LA card, but I can't remember if he's been out there for the Riyadh card. So it's going to be interesting for me to be out there with a different promoter. Floyd Schofield beat Rene Tellez Giron. Is it Giron or Giron? My friend actually manages him. My friend Napa manages him, or at least helps him. Floyd Schofield, look, he's making noise. He's calling out all the fighters. I like it. It's weird how, he calls him out, and his performance wasn't that great. And everyone's like, oh, you should shut up. You shouldn't call people out. No, call them out. If you're Floyd Schofield and you're unbeaten and you look at the big dogs ahead of you, call them out. I don't see a problem with it at all. I've kind of got tired of the usual suspects anyway. I want some new blood in it. And Floyd Schofield's young, he's energetic, he's a good fighter. Is he an elite fighter? We don't know, because he's not fought an elite fighter yet. And sometimes you can only tell once you're in there against someone as good as you. We haven't seen that yet. So who knows? Who knows? But I don't mind the call-outs. And the biggest call-out's been Shakur Stevenson. So we'll see what happens there. Ashaki Foster got his revenge against Robson Conceição. He won the first fight. They robbed him. He said, fuck it, let's do it again. He won the second fight. And now he moves on as well. 2 seconds, people. Let's see if there is anything else in there. You know, what we probably are going to talk about soon is, you know, we've done so many videos on what next for Dubois, what next for AJ. Honestly, what next for AJ? Like, I had Dillian White on TalkSport the other day, and he wants that fight. I do wonder if AJ goes down that route. I do wonder if he goes down that route, because there is this assumption that he fights Tyson Fury no matter what next, and I'm like, I don't believe that. So I do wonder if AJ kind of has another reset, like he did after losing to Usyk, and it was the Jermaine Franklin, Otto Volin. It was supposed to be Dillian White. It turned out to be Helenia. So I wonder if he's going to go down that route again to kind of rebuild again, or he's just going to or he's just going to wait for Tyson Fury. I know someone's going to clip that up. Or he's going to wait for Tyson Fury and just, regardless, have that fight. I don't know. Don't clip that up. Anyway, guys, girls, it was a quick video. It's late. See you soon.